recording, and here we go. Hello, everyone. I wasn't quite sure then whether it was Gina or me that's going to do this. I'm so excited to be here, but I'm also really sad because this is our last live in this Facebook group. Oh, I can't believe this amazing journey and experience with you has all come to an end, but it's been so incredible. I know that Gina and I have absolutely loved spending this time with you and seeing the transformations and the breakthroughs that you've been having. It has been so amazing, and I'm just so happy that we did it because, you know, it was just, like one of those ideas that we had and we thought, oh my gosh, let's just do something. And it was a bizarre time for me because I was pregnant and about to have a baby, and then I had the baby, and then here we are doing this challenge. And baby Marley has been on quite a lot of the live sessions, and it's just been such a magical experience, and I'm just so glad that we went for it and put this out there because I know how many of you it has helped. I'm so happy. So definitely leave a heart or a comment if this has been like such an amazing experience for you too. Gina is here, and together we're going to be sharing some final words for you, leaving you on a note so you feel inspired and empowered as you move forward. Obviously this group is closing out tonight, but the fun is going to be starting over and perfectly packaged very, very soon. So in fact, probably, are people already starting to get in the group for that?
Yep.
Party's already starting. So we're going to have fun hanging out. So thank you for joining us. And Gina, I'm excited, but also sad. This is our last session together for this challenge.
What a sense of pride and accomplishment. I just want you all to just be really proud of yourself. I mean, it's been 2 solid weeks of new information and new thoughts and a new community and this new collaboration. And I've just been reading your comments and looking at what your fears are, and also your hopes and your dreams, and reading about your stories. And it's like, I think what Carrie was saying is like, I'm just really proud of us for getting together and saying yes and just starting. We didn't know what was going to happen, and we didn't know, exactly how everything was going to unfold. And it's just been 2 weeks of discovery and openness and love and power. And I think all of us just really remembering our truth and remembering who we are, and for all of us opening up to playing a bigger game and tapping into more of what's possible. So thank you so much for being on this journey. Carrie and I can't do our life's purpose work without you showing up. So it has just been such a blessing to have you here and to get to know so many of you.
Yeah, and also I just wanted to say thank you so much to the amazing team leaders. Like, you've all been so incredible, and it's been amazing to see the support, the relationships that are formed, and it's just been amazing. So just wanted to do a massive shout out to all.
Oh my goodness, yes, let's give your team leader some love in the chat for Abigail and Chelsea and Christy and Courtney and Lucy and Shelly and Kate. I think I got everyone. Who have you been talking to? Drop their name in the chat and give them some love. We have a Boxer channel, and they've really been sharing with me what's going on with you and your stories. And like, their hearts are busting open when they see you take the leap and get out of fear and into the perfectly packaged program and just decide to invest in yourself. And there's just a lot of heart and a lot of love. You're not in this alone. You are seen. You're not a number. You are a woman with a dream to us. And there's just, it takes a village, really. And these team leaders have just been so instrumental in helping so many of you make the decision that's right for you. So yes, big love to those amazing team leaders.
Yeah.
So speaking of team leaders, word on the street is that some of you haven't made a decision yet for yourself. Is that true? Some of you haven't made a decision. And so Carrie and I wanted to come on, and it's not about getting you to sign up. That's not what's in our heart, and that's not who we are. But we are women who make really great decisions for ourselves, one way or another. And that's what we're really here to empower you to do with whatever is right for you, whatever the decision is. And so I think, I want to start it off with, there's a couple of things that I've been hearing about, but while I'm talking here, drop in the chat where you're at in your decision-making process. Remember those numbers we're doing, and if you happen to miss that bonus call I did, with 1 being an indecision and 10 being in the place of decision. For those of you who've already made the decision, drop your 10 there, because that's you, or if you've gotten yourself to a 10, drop that in. And if you're not at a 10 yet, there's no problem with it. There's no judgment on it. We're here to meet you all where you're at. And so drop in what number you're at in terms of making a decision, just so you can kind of self-reflect for yourself. And a couple of things that I just want to clear up to make sure our communication is super clear is that some of you have been saying that you're going to wait till next time. And I just want to be clear, there's no plan for any next time. Like it's this time. This collaboration, I really believe, came about for one of many reasons, but one of them is, everyone's been pivoting this year, and Carrie and my schedules have like completely changed as a result of this pandemic. And so normally I'm traveling and I don't have like a chunk of 10 weeks to teach a class every single week. And so I just wanted to seize the moment while I am, relatively speaking, at home and have that time free to be able to give in this way. And this isn't like one of my signature programs that I run and rerun, or like what Carrie offers as well. So there's no next time. I want you, if this is what's right for you, seize this opportunity now. Do we have that clear? This is the opportunity of the moment. Is number one. And the more exciting one that I really want to get into is, I've been hearing a lot of people say that they're afraid, that they're scared it won't work for them. And this is such an understandable fear, because this whole package conversation, it's really new to a lot of people. And I remember when it was new for me, and I was like, what is a package? And then when I kind of got an idea of it, I was like, well, what do you do with the people for all day or for that many months? And how are you charging that? And what, like, I could never charge that. There was just all of this confusion. And so I want you to understand that, I saw this on Instagram earlier today, and I'm excited to share with you. A friend of mine wrote, every expert started as a beginner. And I want you to write that down. Every expert started as a beginner. And that includes me with packages. Like, there was a time when I didn't know what it was. Then there was a time when I kind of understood and saw people doing them, but it was still a bit of a mystery. But then I kept just taking the next step and the next step. And there wasn't a perfectly packaged program for me to step into. I kind of had to glean things from here and there. And so what I want you to know is, you don't need to know anything other than you have a desire to be able to make money online, that you have a desire to know how you can find who these clients would be and what you would be doing. All you have to have is the desire. The program itself is designed beautifully, step by step by step, with all kinds of examples and templates and checklists and exercises. So you're not going to be in the dark for long. Plus, I'm going to be there, and the amazing Divine Living coaches are going to be there. So twice a week, you're going to have an opportunity to ask your questions, to once a week from me live and once a week with your Divine Living coach live. And so there's so many questions like, but what would I do? And you don't have to know that going in. That's not how it normally works. Most people don't. They just start with the dream and the desire. They just know that they don't want to be in the financial struggle anymore. They just know that maybe if it worked for someone else, that maybe it could work for them too. And I've priced this program in a way and really stretched out the payment plan to make sure that if you show up and do this program as it's intended, for you to get the results. So I want to, what is this program? Is like $3,000 in full and $3,500 on the payment plan. So and drop a note in the chat. Who has the issue and you're wondering, like, I think I'd like to do this, but I'm just scared it won't work for me, or I'm scared it won't make my investment back, or I'm scared that I won't know how to sell. Like, if you have any question or wondering if it's going to work for you, drop that in the chat and let me see that, because I want to work with you. And so this is, and I'm seeing, so I just saw this question, is this a program that's going to make us a coach? If you want to coach, you can coach. That's one type of package. And then there's all different types as well. So I do have coaching demonstrations in there, and I have examples, there's bonuses. So if coaching, and I kind of believe anyone in a service-based industry is a coach, because you're coaching someone to make a great decision or to change their life in some way, even if you're a graphic designer, even if you're a Pilates instructor, even if you're a fashion stylist or an esthetician even, as we've been bringing in some of my clients. And so when you, all right, I'm gonna stop reading the chats because I wanna focus on here. So here's what you need to understand, that let's just take the painful, you are 6 to 7 people away from helping to being able to recoup your investment. Because when you think about it, 6 or 7 people, even at like a $497 pound or dollar package, recoups your investment. And this payment plan, if you want to do the payment plan, it's stretched out all year long. So that would be like you getting maybe like 1 client every other month at $497 to recoup that investment. You got this. You're gonna commit to helping 6 or 7 people. That's not a whole bunch of people. This is part of the fun of packages. You don't need a lot of people to literally make thousands of dollars or pounds. And of course, I'm going to show you in the marketing modules and the social media modules that like simple steps for you to just be reaching out online or being visible online. And I'm going to get you over any insecurity about what you would say. We've got all of this mapped out for you. You just need to understand that if you're wondering where your people are, they're online, especially this year. And I'm going to show you how to get in front of them and be in conversation with them. And it's just 6 or 7 people is going to help you recoup that investment. It's that doable. And remember when I shared, you might not start at a $497 package. You might start at a $99 package like Aura did. And then we'll get you to the next step and the next step and the next step. So Carrie, what do you have to say, or what any questions that you have about people that are just like, how would I ever, I'm scared I won't recoup the investment?
What questions have I seen coming up on that, or what?
Or yeah, or sure, anything else you want to share on that?
Well, I mean, to be fair, it is a scary leap to, I think once there's a quote, what is it? Those who don't believe in magic will never find it, or something. I think actually I put it in my book, something like that. But it's so powerful and it's so true, because like you have to believe it almost before you see it. And you have to be willing to take that leap and just have the faith, literally, that you're on the right pathway if it feels like the right thing for you. Like if in your heart right now you're so fired up and you're so excited and you know deep down that this is really what you want to be doing, and you have had this like niggle or knowing or this desire to do this, and you're not quite sure, even if you're not quite sure what it is or what it means or how this all looks, I feel we all need to have the courage to follow those feelings. And I don't think those feelings lead us astray. I think they lead us to the life that we truly want to live. But it's like I said, so often we're so conditioned to make our decisions based out of fear that we can't do it, fear that we can't figure it out, and we're so hung up on the how that we just won't let ourselves get started. And so I just think you don't, if this feels right and you feel excited, don't let not knowing the how stop you from taking the first step, because you'll never figure out the how if you don't take that first step. But we have got some other questions in that I think are really would be helpful for us to answer.
Sure. And just on that, Carrie, like I want to say, and you don't ever have to figure out the how in this program. Like the how is all figured out. It is all laid out. There's videos, there's modules, there's templates, there's checklists, there's like all of the how, it's there. So yeah, let's dive into some questions. So if any of you have questions, I am so happy to answer them and make sure that we're just getting really clear here.
There are questions, but one last thing on that though.
Yeah.
So many people ask me, Gina, I don't know if you get the same thing, I'm sure you do, all the time, but how did you build your business? But how did you actually make 7 figures? But how did you build your email list? But how have you grown your social media following? And they're so hung up on the how. And I feel like just saying, you have to stop thinking about that. Like, all you have to think about is taking that next little step, because my success is a result of so many tiny little steps that have happened over a period of time. And you know, you can never foresee at the beginning of your journey exactly where you're going to end up, but if you are willing to take that next little step and that next little step, that's how you create the success. And you know, we just have to surrender the how. It holds us back.
Totally. But hey, before we get into this, I don't even know if logistically this is possible, but I just saw Nicole Kramer on here, and Kendall, I'll let you work this through. Is it, or Chelsea, is there any way we can get Nicole a Zoom link and have her come on? She was a client a while ago who was totally deer in headlights, and I've shared her story here, but if we can get her to come on, I would love if you guys can, someone DM Nicole, or Nicole reach out, and let's see if we can get her on Zoom. But Carrie, what are some of the questions coming in?
Okay, so Sue said, do the materials get released each week, or do we see everything from sign up?
The materials will be released each week. So, because I like to go really deep with each of the foundational pieces. And sometimes people think that they don't need something or want to skip ahead. And I know what it takes to get the results and the success. And whether you're starting from scratch and brand new and zero and have no idea what you want to do, or you're already an established coach and or any kind of service-based individual and are already selling packages, and you're there to get to the 10K months, everything in this program is scalable and it's foundational. So the modules will be dripped out, I believe, each Wednesday. So you'll have like from Wednesday through the weekend to the following Monday before you're on the call with me. And then you'll have later on in the week your implementation call with your coach.
So Teresa said, can you clarify 2 things for me? 1, the refund option, and 2, will this work for lawyers?
Oh, okay, cool. So the refund option is, and this is, I just wanted this to be totally risk-free for everyone. If you're wondering what it's like to be in a course with me and Carrie, what the materials look like, the caliber, the substance, all of it, I wanted you to have 2 full weeks to come in and check it out. Zero risk. And so for all of you who are just wondering, is this for me? Like, come join us and find out. And if at the end of the 2 weeks, and I give you a full 2 weeks in the course, it's not even 2 weeks from today, it's a full 2 weeks in the course. So you'll get all of the A-List Accelerator materials, and you'll get into the membership site, and you'll have 2 full weeks of classes and implementation calls and modules. And if for any reason it's not for you, you're just going to let us know and you're going to get a refund and no strings attached. I'm that confident in the results and in the caliber, but if for any reason it's just not a match for you, no problem. There's no risk.
I think that's it's so good to be able to do something risk-free, because if you are teetering on the edge and you're thinking about it, but you're so caught up with the doubts and the worries, or you're just confused about how this can work for you, if you just challenge yourself, I like to create success challenges for myself. And if you challenge yourself to go all in, and over the 14 days to 2 weeks, soak up everything. So get in the Facebook group, start connecting with people, start building friendships, get to know your team leader, your coach in there, connect with her, start posting your questions, ask your questions, start getting help, start opening yourself up to receive the guidance you need, start going through the materials again, soak it all up, just see what is possible, what could you make happen. And like Gina said, then after the 2 weeks, if you get to the end of it and you're just like, for whatever reason this isn't right for me, then just let us know. But I think that it's so powerful, because if you are teetering, I think it's because Gina and I know how much this can help you, and I know how many people Gina has helped. And I mean, Jen Sincero dedicated her entire book to you. That speaks volumes that she did that. And there's so many of the stories that you've shared over last week of the people that you've worked with and the success they've created. That could be any single one of you that are listening right now. It's just taking that backing yourself and taking that leap. So why not make it risk-free? Because we know how much this can help you. So I'd rather everyone see it for themselves and just test it out and just see what you can make happen, rather than making a decision thinking, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure, and then missing out and then not being able to create that success that's yours for the taking. So yeah, I think it's a really big point that. Teresa also said, will this work for lawyers?
Sure. I've worked with many lawyers throughout the years in many different countries, actually. It works for any service-based industry. Any service is what the packages are for. So if you look at, here's what it's not designed for. It's not designed for physical products, shoe lines, handbag lines, makeup. It's not designed for people who are in multi-level marketing. There's some industries that it's just not designed for, but if you have an interest in offering a service, packages work for any service-based industry.
Okay, so Donatella said, can you teach us how to sell our services in an authentic way?
Ooh, one of my favorite subjects, Donatella. So I love sales, and what I love about it is that there's no sales involved. It's pretty much like what we're doing here. It's super authentic, it's super real, it's a conversation and it's a relationship. And so I include my Sales Superstar program in this, and my friend Amanda Bucci is also including her sales program in this. And I even teach a whole module on the discovery calls, because what sales is to me, it's a coaching call. It's all it is coaching someone on helping them make a great decision for themselves, whatever the decision is, whether it's for you to sign up for Perfectly Packaged or not. I'm not attached to that. If Perfectly Packaged is what's right for you, I want to support you in getting over any fear and getting into it and making that decision. If Perfectly Packaged isn't right for you, I want you to make that decision so you can go on your journey and connect with whatever resources or programs or teachers or mentors that are right for you. And that's really how I approach sales. So there's nothing salesy or pushy or convincing about it. It's really an exploration. So yes, we will dive deep into that.
So Hannah said, for the more advanced people in the program who have high-end packages, will we be shown how to scale to 5K and 10K packages?
Oh, you know it, Hannah. You know it. And that's where the beginners, it's going to be so great for you to be in the conversation and be around people who are a little bit further ahead than you, because sometimes you don't even know what questions to ask. It's like, when you're the freshman and you're watching the seniors do things, and you're like, oh, okay. And then yes, Hannah, sky is the limit. This program is totally scalable. We can do $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. I mean, I've done up to $125,000 packages. So I'm here for you. I'm here for it. There's no limit. Now, I'm not going to jump ahead. I'm going to find out what I'm going to get to know you first and really read your financial frequency. And so if the next step for you is a 5K package to get to 10K months or even 10K packages, we'll definitely stair step that with you and have fun watching you get that success.
Okay, so Teresa said, I love this. I think, Teresa, yeah, you are the lawyer. She said, will the contract be changed to state that about the 2-week refund period?
Hey, Teresa, I have heard lots about you from my team, and I'm going to recommend for all of these awesome questions that you can get in touch with them directly at questions@divineliving.com. So I know that these have already been answered, but if you still have clarification questions, go ahead and reach out to my team.
So Nicole said, what days will implementation calls be on?
We're still adjusting that. So we really take a look at who the people are that signed up and then assign you to your coach. So the groups are broken down, and usually they're later on in the week. I'd like to do my call on Monday at the beginning of the week. So then you've got time to be with the module and get my teaching and coaching and feedback. And then it gives you a few days. So usually they're between Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and I think this time they're going to be either Thursdays or Fridays.
And there's another actual question I just saw in the chat. Donatella said, did the implementation calls take into consideration our time zone?
All of the calls are going to be, we usually do them morning Pacific time, which is like afternoon for Eastern Standard Time, and it's usually early evening for UK and Europe. So those, depending on what time zone you're in, that's where we have found most of our participants live. You awesome women in Australia, New Zealand, and other parts of the world, I know that sometimes it's a get up in the middle of the night or it's a super early call for you, but that's where we found most of our participants come from. So it'll be roughly speaking those time zones.
Also, apparently Nicole is here.
Oh, she is? Nicole, are you here?
I'm not sure where though.
You can bring up Nicole if she's here, and we'll have some fun with Nicole. Oh, look at.
Oh, I was just waiting for it to pop on. Okay, great.
Hey, Nicole. It doesn't matter if your camera ready or not, but thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. I got camera ready really quickly.
Oh, you're so great. You're so great. Well, everyone, Nicole Kramer, this wasn't planned. I just happened to see her in the chat. So, Nicole, it's so fun for you to be here because I think you are such an exquisite representation of like the whole arc of the journey. And we've got a lot of people here right now who are like everyone's at different stages, of course, but a lot of people are at the very beginning stages. Like they just met me. Some people just met Carrie. They don't know what a package is. They are watching all this stuff happen and like, is this real? But have like serious concerns and fears and doubts about, could this possibly happen for them? So why don't we take this back to the beginning of your journey? And I think that you speak to pretty much every level. But why don't you share real quickly about how we met and then where you were at that time?
Yeah, I've definitely been through all the layers of all of this. And when we met, I was very much in the, can this happen for me? And, you know, I had no wealth consciousness. I didn't necessarily understand what investing in myself really meant and didn't believe in myself and had a lot of doubts. And I fought very hard for my limitations. And the universe put you in my path, Gina, in such a beautiful and an amazing way. And met you, and just what I loved about it right away is looking back, I know you believed in me the entire time. And I felt that from the very start, although I couldn't believe in myself because I just wasn't in that place yet. I felt that energy from you, and you really do package brilliance. Like you understand how to bring the best out in people. Like it's just amazing because I've watched you now do it for so many people, and I am constantly in awe, and it always makes me reflect back to when we first met, and you just saw something in me. You were able to pull it out right off the bat, and although I wasn't able to bring it out of myself right away, your coaching is what allowed that to happen. And trust me, ladies, it was not pretty for a while. Like I was stubborn. I got told by Gina a couple times, make sure you follow the coaching, and you know, and I did. And sometimes I fought for my limitations, but through it all, it's such a personal development journey, and you are there to guide us on every level of it. You know, this isn't just about creating the perfect package. Gina's going to create the perfect you. Like Gina's going to help you understand what your true power is and what you have to offer this world. And you're going to learn a lot, and there's going to be some tears and some joy and all kinds of fun stuff along the way. But it is really a journey, and I'm just constantly in awe in everything you're able to do, Gina. Not just for me, but for all the other women that I've seen you do it through over the years.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that love, Nicole. And let's just paint an even clearer picture for people of where we got started. So Nicole was working her corporate job, and what was your dream? What did you want when we met at that bookstore?
My dream was to be a full-time entrepreneur and work for myself.
Did you know what that was going to look like?
No idea. I mean, I had my big visions, but really didn't know how it was going to play out or how it was going to happen. And
did you know that you were going to even have packages?
No.
Did you know what a package was?
No, knew nothing.
Did you have any idea who your ideal client would be?
No, I thought it was something completely different, and you honed in on that, and I still resisted a little bit, but like, you're just genius and amazing in that way. So no, I knew nothing.
So this is what I'm telling you, like, you don't have to know. Nicole knew that she wanted a business, right? Is that what, did you know anything more than that, Nicole? Like, what else?
Well, and I thought I wanted a completely different business at the time, and you saw something in me and helped direct me in a different way that completely opened everything up in my world that I could have never possibly done for myself. I was on a path that I would still be beating my head against a wall had I tried to continue in that way.
Okay, next question. When, at the beginning, did you have any fears about where you would find clients?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Every day. Yes. Where are my clients? Yeah. Yeah. It's very real. It's a very, just all of it's unfamiliar. I think that's the biggest thing. And like, you just have to go through it. I think I heard you or Carrie say just a few minutes ago, like, you have to start in order to learn, in order to understand. And it's scary. And there's no way that you should do this on your own. And you should do it with Gina and Carrie and people who really have been there before and who understand what's going on, because we can't possibly do this on our own.
And then when you like saw me talk about or saw people selling these $5,000 and $10,000 packages, like, what went on in you with that at the beginning?
I remember early on when I joined, I saw somebody post that they had just sold their first $75,000 package.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I thought she messed up and put too many zeros in it. That was my first thought. And honest to goodness, my next thought was, I need to call my dad and tell him this is really real. Like, people actually, like, this is legit. I'm going to actually build a business and I'm going to do that same thing. And I'm going to sell $75,000 packages. But I was still in such awe of that even being possible. But you get to watch other women who are doing it and show you that it's possible. And I saw that over and over and over again with the amazing women that you coach. And it just starts to instill in you, it really is possible for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
How did you feel when we kind of got your structures down? Like, we knew who the ideal client was, and then we knew what the package was. And then I was like, okay, go sell. Did you have any fear?
Yes. Oh, it was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable, but that's part of the process. I mean, looking back now, I remember it was like, but here's the other thing. It was uncomfortable, but I was with a group of women who were going through the same thing. Mm-hmm. So to have that community, I mean, that's the thing that just blew me away. I thought I was joining so that I could learn from you, learn whatever modules were part of the program, and do my thing on my own.
Peace out.
Peace out. And then it was like the gift I could have never seen coming. Like the embrace from the community, the energy from the community is just next level, and something I never even could have imagined how much I needed. It's actually the thing I needed more than anything.
And what was the first financial increment that you sold? Like, what was the first mini package?
I sold a $2,500 package.
That was your first one?
It was my first one. I thought it would be an intensive, but my first one was a $2,500. I had two packages at that time. I had a $2,500 and a $500 intensive.
That's what I thought. Yeah. And you didn't sell the $500 one first? Went straight
surprisingly. You know, when I sold it on one of my ideal client interviews. It wasn't even supposed to be a sales call, but by the end of the call, she said, I need to work with you. How do I do this? And I allowed her to take it from there. I wasn't going to sell anything on my ideal client interviews, but she asked me. So I said, if you want to know more, I'm happy to tell you. And that was that.
Wow. So what Nicole's talking about, the ideal client interviews, normally before you go out there and start selling the world, I let you practice and I show you the system and structure where you're going to go and do the research and you're just going to practice interviewing people. And we show you how to, have that happen. And look at I didn't even realize that's how you made your first sale.
Yeah. That was my first one. But then it was intensives after that I sold like 3 or 4 of them. I think that gave me like the confidence.
How much were those?
500.
Okay, that's what I remember. Okay, so you had this, like, the universe tossed you like a good for you, Nicole, for just getting started and putting yourself out there. I'm going to bless you with a $2,500 package from something that wasn't even a real sales call.
Nope.
And then to get your confidence going, you were selling $500 packages?
Yep.
And how many of those did you sell at the beginning?
I think I sold about 5 of them from like over a span of a couple of months. Like those were the majority of my sales initially.
Yep. And then over time, tell people the kind of the end of the story. Where are you at now?
In terms of my packages or my monthly revenue?
All of it.
So I have a wait list for my one-on-one.
Listen, everyone take that in. Take that in. She has a wait list for her one-on-one packages. Keep going.
I have a wait list and I sell them I just raised my prices a couple months ago. I sell them for $3,500 and I'm going to be doing another increase soon, not too soon, but soon enough. Mm-hmm. And I'm officially at $22,000 for the month, this month.
$22,000 for the month. This was, Nicole, when you first saw people going to like have a $10,000 month, what did that sound like to you at the beginning?
I wanted it, but I don't know that I had the belief that it just sounded like, holy guacamole. Like, I hope I can get there. I really want that. And I knew that was my goal to be able to leave my job, is to get to consistent months like that. But I don't know that I thought it was possible for myself for the first couple of months, because I just had to go through all the things I had to go through.
And then how did that first 10K month feel?
It happened in a day. I had a call that day with my amazing coach, Kate, and she, I definitely was having a meltdown on the call, and I was having a little bit of like just overwhelm with it. Can you imagine that, Gina? Like me having a meltdown? I finally, at the end of the call, said, you know what? I have 3 discovery calls today, and I'm going to go get a yes from all of them. I know it. And I got off the call with her, and one by one, they all said yes. And by the end of the day, I had a 10K day.
So beautiful. So what she used to think was impossible to make in a month for herself in her own business. She had a belief in like, I can get a corporate paycheck, but in my own business, not only did she did it in a day, and she's now quit her corporate job, and now she's crossing $20,000 months at $22K being the highest so far. Yes. And everyone keeps asking, what does Nicole do? Nicole, what do you do?
I'm a sales coach for health and wellness coaches. Yep. And Gina pulled that out of me. That was not my doing.
So, because there's so many women here concerned that there's not a package in them. And I keep telling them, like, there's a package in every woman. There's a queen in every woman, and there's a package in every woman. I will find it.
Every woman, and trust that Gina will find it. And you know what? Can I tell you this story real quick? You said to me, I hope this is okay. You said, I'm like the Simon Cowell for entrepreneurs.
I am.
And I know when I know exactly what somebody needs to do to really get started and to make money and to package. I don't think you said package your brilliance at the time, but that's exactly what you do. And when you said Simon Cowell of entrepreneurs, I was like, okay, all right. Because I had just met you. I didn't know you that well at that time. And true to form, you are the Simon Cowell of entrepreneurs. I'm like, Simon Cowell isn't going to it's going to be the Gina DeVee of things from now on. Come on.
That's going to work. That's not going to work. So that's why, like, come get yourself enrolled in this program so I can work with you, and you don't have to wonder anymore. You're just going to start doing. So anyways, Nicole, thank you so much for being here and sharing your journey and sharing your process. And any last advice you have to the women who were who you were when you like this is like a very unfamiliar territory for people. Like, this was not Nicole's world, and that's the same for them. It's like, what advice do you have for the women who are like, where am I and what is happening? And is this possible?
Trust, Gina, and go for it. I know that there's fears. I know that it's scary. I know that you're thinking, oh my God, could this work for me? Oh my God, should I invest in myself? Trust me. Absolutely trust me. Just go for it. Just go for it. That's it.
It's what happens. It's what happens. All right. Awesome. So any remaining questions here? I'm just looking in the chat. Nicole, again, thank you so much. You've been such a bright light, and it's so special to see you giving to the community in this way. Carrie, what do you have
That
to say?
was so amazing. Nicole, what an incredible story. That was just absolutely brilliant. And you know, one of the most incredible things I think you said, I actually wrote it down. She said, stop fighting for your limitations. Oh my gosh, how often are we just fighting for our limitations, fighting for our struggles? Like, why do we do it? It's just, it's phenomenal to see how she did it, and she didn't know what the heck she was doing, and she just got on and she's followed what you said. And she said something about you as well. She said about how empowering you are, and I couldn't agree more with that, actually. Gina, from our conversations that we had, you are so empowering, and you definitely have a way of making people feel like they can do it and that anything's possible. And I think that is such a powerful thing to be around, because when somebody believes in you, it makes you believe more in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, so much is possible. And I think that's magic. It really is. So
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Carrie. I think it's, it's the power of our combination, really, too, that we're just two women with a dream, and we know what it is to invest in ourselves. We know what it is to be afraid. We know what it is to say, well, that could be me, and then say, wait a minute, wait, that is what I want. What if it could be me? And that's really why we brought this collaboration together. I know everyone's so excited about the masterclass that you're going to teach, and the Q&A calls that you're going to do. And then, Carrie and I are just going to be with you every step of the way through this journey, so that you aren't alone. And that, I think it's one of the things I feel so grateful for, that I get to give this gift of packages, is because I just know how it changed my life. It's meaningful work. It's the fastest path to cash. You don't need a lot of people, and there truly is a package in every woman. And so, and then obviously my other, my passion-based area is around helping women transform their money story. Like, nobody deserves, especially if $289, no matter what currency conversion you live in, is feeling like a stretch or out of reach, or that you don't have it. Like, that is what I am living for, to help you transform that, so that in 10 weeks, that's not even a thought, let alone your reality. And that you have access to the global marketplace from your living room, that anytime you want money, anytime you need money, anytime you want to make a difference in the world, you just get to go put your package out there and have, like you saw Nicole, have people buy it. And it's like, life is just a lot better when you're working in a meaningful way, and you actually have the money for anything you desire.
so true. So true. There is a question here, actually, that I just saw from Jeannie. She said, can this program help me get past the awkward phase before I'm too old? I have so much experience to bring, but I don't have another 20 years to be a beginner. 20 years? It was like 20 years.
Yes, this program will expedite, because remember how I laid it out step by step. Like, every single week you're going to move forward. You're not going to be in the same place you were even the week before. I mean, look at the last 2 weeks, right? Like, even this has just been 2 weeks of a free challenge together, and look how far you've come and how much you've grown. Now you're going to have the modules and the videos and all the nuts and bolts pieces in the community. And, remember, you're going to come on just like Nicole did, and like Harry's here on Zoom. Like, we're going to talk back and forth. It's not like during the challenge when everyone's here in the Facebook group, and I love reading your comments, but this is really, it's a very intimate relationship. Like, I'm going to get to know you and your beautiful soul and what you're meant for. Everybody who uses this program as intended, it can be selling packages even before the program ends, but certainly within the 10 weeks.
Amazing. I just think this session's been amazing. I think it's perfect that Nicole came on, and just think that was a lovely ending to this whole experience, to hear such an incredible success story, and just to see what is possible for every single one of us. It's brilliant.
Absolutely. So this is your chance. Remember, ladies, the epic life is waiting for you. And for such a time as this is your calling. This is your time. This is your queenhood. And you are no longer no longer that orphaned or exiled little girl, and you're no longer going to orphan or exile your own dream. This is for you to step in with that risk-free money-back guarantee and let yourself sample this program. Let yourself experience all the goodness that's there, completely risk-free. And then you're going to see step by step, week by week, you're going to be like Nicole was, wait, so-and-so selling what package and that package, and then all of a sudden it's you. And when you're following the steps, remember I told you, it's like jogging. When you do it, it works. And look at this
You know, Marley's made her final appearance in this. She was screaming her head off and I was like, okay, she needs feeding. Anything is possible. I also wrote a quote down for you all, a final quote, because I love a good one. Although it's not really a quote, it's just from a poem from Rumi. He said, your heart knows the way, run in that direction. I think for any of you that have in your heart that this is something you want to do, you have to run in that direction. You have to follow it, because it's going to lead you to the most incredible place. And I just think we definitely have to just make our decisions based out of love, based from our heart, follow, you know, those feelings, and that is the way to the epic life, I think.
Totally. Couldn't have brought this final session to completion any better. That's so beautiful, Carrie, and beautiful Marley. And to all you beautiful souls, thank you again for being here and for being on this journey and for being the beautiful you. I hope that you take advantage of this one-time opportunity and come join us in Perfectly Packaged, so you can now get your brilliance out into the world and make the money you deserve. So reach out to your team leader, get in touch. You can go to the link divineliving.com/perfectly packaged. And Carrie and I will see you inside that Facebook group and inside the 10-week course. And we are going to finish out 2020, making it our best year yet.
We are, definitely. Exciting. Thank you so much, Gina. And thank you so much, all of you. It's been amazing. Bye, everyone.
Bye.